It's time once again for an update from the City of New Hope. Mayor Kathi Hemken joining us. Welcome, Mayor. How are you today?
Hi, Dave. Just fine. Thank you on this kind of icky day. It looks like it's raining. It's going to snow tomorrow.
Season is changing. We want to talk about quite a few things happening in New Hope. Let's begin with an election recap. Take us back a week into the election results. What did you see in New Hope?
We're really, really pleased. 83% turnout, which is really good for New Hope. Of that, there were 12,000 votes. And of that, 8,000 were done online or absentee. So we just want to thank everybody for getting out and voting. And it was a very smooth, clean election for us. And we're really happy about that. So thank you, voters.
And congratulations to you. And then we have one returning and one new council member. Is that correct? Tell us that information.
That is. The new council member will be Mike Eisenberg. Cedric Frazier was also on the ballot, and he will be moving to the House of Representatives to replace Linda Carlson. And then Andy Hoff was reelected also.
All right, so the final canvassing being done in this week as we bring this update to you. Let's move over to community development and the CARES Act. We've heard a lot about these dollars and about some of the processes. Give us the latest on what the city is doing.
Well, there's some emergency funding. I've got to read this so I don't get it wrong. There's some emergency funding available to support the owners of affordable rental housing. So in places where the people weren't able to pay the rent or just all the expenses that come with COVID. So there's going to be a website that apartment complexes can go to and get some of this federal money.
So we've got that at the bottom of the screen, again, a long website related to the county. And again, if you needed more information, I'm sure you could contact the city and talk to the folks in community development. Let's move ahead to the business networking group. How is that group doing? I understand they're trying to get a little creative to get together and meet.
We've been struggling. You know, when we were meeting in person, it was just different. There was a lot of back and forth. It's hard to meet by Zoom. So what they've decided to do, they sent out a survey. It sounded like people wanted to meet just once a month. And so what they're going to do starting in December, they'll meet the first Wednesday in December. It'll be at 8:30, and then the next month, the first Wednesday will be at 2 o'clock. However, there is a meeting on the 18th of November, and that's a 2 o'clock meeting, and the gal from Thrivent is going to be the host of that meeting. So you'll learn a little bit about what's going on in Thrivent. But we just encourage businesses to, if they can, to zoom in on that, because it's really important to know what's going on in the community.
Very good. And again, through the city's website, can find out information about those meetings and those times that the mayor mentioned. The Bryant Contract. Again, give us a little background on this and tell us what updates residents need to know.
Well, Brochure is doing a spreadsheet for us. And basically, it's to track where there's valves that cut the backflow down of water. So if you've got an irrigation system or you use a lot of water at a business, we want to make sure that the water goes into the business, but it doesn't backflow back out and contaminate the water system. And so they're supposed to, once they have this put in, they're supposed to have it inspected every year. Well, Brochure is coming in and they're going to tell us where all of these backflow devices are and the last time they had an inspection. So it'll be easier for us to keep track of who's getting an inspection and who's not, and to help them get that inspection. It really behooves us to keep that water supply clean. And this backflow, all it takes is one to really kind of mess it up. So Brochure is helping us with this. It's a free service that they're giving us. And we're going to be able to know where all those backflow devices are and the inspection if they've been done.
And once again, most of that work is done with businesses. Is that correct? Maybe a few homes, but mostly businesses.
It's mostly businesses. Some of the irrigation systems have it on in homes. Not all of them. They should have, unless they've got some kind of shutoff valve. So if you don't have one, you might want to contact community development and find out if you need one. And if you do, really it would benefit everybody to have one put in.
Very good. Let's move ahead to, you mentioned the changing of the season, something that is happening, and the race is on to get the streets swept. What is the timing here, and a little bit of a change in process?
Well, so we usually contract out to a street sweeper. That's really hard to say.
Yes.
Well, their equipment malfunctioned somehow, and they weren't able to sweep the streets very well. They were making big piles around, and some of it was getting picked up. Finally, we said, never mind to them, and we'll do it. We'll do it in the city. Well, of course, we don't have as much equipment as they do, and it's taking us a little longer, and then it had to hurry up and get organized so we could do it. So we're still trying to get those streets swept before too much snow gets on them. Remind people, do not rake your leaves into the street. That it's against our ordinance. I know that sometimes they go in, a few go in there. That's okay, but don't rake big piles onto your boulevard and expect that they'll get picked up. So if your street hasn't been swept, it will. It's just going to take a little bit longer because the city has to do it.
Understand. Let's move ahead to Park and Rec. Many, many things going on here. The first is a sign of the holidays fast approaching. They have barrels out to encourage people to give. Tell us a little bit about that.
They do. First of all, there's going to be bins at City Hall, and just bring food and you can put those in those bins. That's going to be used for the Thanksgiving rush that comes. The other thing you should remember is a check actually goes further than the food. So if you're able to put a check in an envelope, put it in there, it'll get to the food banks. The food is going to be shared between Near and Prism. And so that money will go to one or the other, or both. It'll be split. And that'll happen between now and Thanksgiving. Then after Thanksgiving, between that and Christmas, it'll be a food drive again. And again, money's good. And in collaboration with the police department, we're also doing a toy drive. And once again, a check works really well because they can just leverage that and buy more toys for the kids. So either one, you can stop at City Hall, drop off something that's really appreciated.
All right, we've mentioned spring or winter enough times. Let's mention spring for just a second. In combination with winter, we've got a brochure coming out from Park and Rec full of information. What should people look for, and what does this have inside?
Well, actually, I'm kind of excited because here it's going to snow on Tuesday, and this is the winter and spring brochure. So there's hope. There will be a spring. So that is going to be virtual. So you can go online and look at the In Motion online, or you can go to City Hall and pick up a copy if you want to do that. There's lots of things in there, and we just want people to see what's happening in the winter and the spring and sign up for that stuff. The postcards are being sent out. That'll tell people how to go into the In Motion brochure, so they'll be able to know how to look that up.
Very good. And city's website as well, you can find that information. Also, Park and Rec has been busy not only putting that together, but also putting together family activity packs. Tell us more. What are these?
Well, we got some money from the Hennepin County CARES grant, and we put together some money with that grant. Just activities that families can do. Those, again, will be in the brochure and how to get them. They'll be available at City Hall. You can just go in there and get one. I don't know if there's a cost. I imagine there's not, but they'll be able to get these family packs and do some different activities with them. So it's just a diversion.
All right. And golf has been very busy. It was a great diversion for a lot of people this year. I understand a lot of golf courses, record years. And the New Hope Village Golf Course got that bonus week, but now things are coming to a close. Recap the season for us.
Last Saturday and Sunday, you could not get a tee time at all. I had a tee time at 3:58, which meant we finished up in the dark. But they were booked every 7 minutes all day long on Saturday and Sunday. I'm sorry to say it's probably done. It's going to snow on Tuesday. I can't imagine that they're going to be open anymore. It starts to take a toll on the greens and the grass. So we're pretty much done at the golf course. The nice news about that is they have signed another contract with Ironwood. That's the apartment building right next door. They get paid, the golf course gets paid $50 a car that park over there. So this is a nice income stream coming from Ironwood to the golf course, to the city. It's a way to use our parking lot in the winter. We're not going to be able to rent out the pavilion quite as often as we had been, or the clubhouse. It's been rented a couple times, but it just won't be nearly as popular as it's been because of the social distancing. But if you're having a family event, it's quite large. You can actually get in there and spread out a little bit rather than just being confined to the house. So just an option, but we'll have that extra income coming in from Ironwood.
Very good information about that rental on the city's website. Also information there about the ice arena, and the ice arena has been very busy. Tell us about the tournament that just took place.
Oh, there was a national tournament. We had teams from California, Michigan, and Pittsburgh. There were a few teams that couldn't come in because of COVID testing positive, but it was a very good tournament. It's really a compliment to us to have these tournaments here. They tell me that they keep our ice a little bit colder than other rinks ice, so the pucks fly quicker. And so
Okay.
they like to have these tournaments at our ice arena, which I think is pretty cool. Open skating again Saturday and Sunday. Go online. You have to make reservations online. Also, skate rental, you can pay for that online because we have to restrict how many people are on the ice at one time, and that's 25. So go ahead, and it's a family activity that even if you don't skate, they've got those little like walkers for the kids to use. So if you've never skated, you can rent skates, rent a little ice time, and come on Saturday or Sunday.
Next department we'll stop in for our update this week with the mayor will be the finance department, and something you maybe don't hear too much about, franchise fees. Explain franchise fees for us and how these are really a benefit for the city.
Well, because of where cables are and electrical lines and poles and things like that, they run under our city streets. So basically, CenterPoint Energy, XL Energy, the cable company, they're all using our property. So they are charged. They of course charge residents the fee. So that comes through these companies, and then they give the money to us. And I'm going to again read the numbers so I don't get them wrong.
Mhm.
166,000 came from XL Energy. 55,000 of that went to the streets. From CenterPoint, 111,000, and again 5,500 went to the streets. I'm sorry, CenterPoint was 93,000.
Okay.
And then Northwest Cable is also sending some money along too. So we get a lot of that money. Most of it goes to our general fund. Of course, the general fund is what keeps our taxes a little bit lower.
Very good. Good information. Human resources, a few things again happening in the police department as positions shift a little bit. What is the latest there?
Well, because we got a new chief who was promoted from a sergeant position to the chief, we had to promote an officer to sergeant. Chris Sawzen is his name. He's going to be our new sergeant. So, of course, we now have an opening in the police department, just the regular sworn officers. Well, we posted for that job. We got 35 acceptable applicants. So we'll do some background checking. We'll do some interviewing. We're probably going to hire a new police officer.
Okay.
So lots of changes are being made. I do want to mention one thing about Tim Hoyt, our new police chief. He is really involved in a community conversation, and he's willing to go out and meet with communities who want to talk about police reform, want to talk about maybe a problem they have. Feel free. Today, the 9th, is his first day as a police chief. So he might be just a little bit busy kind of getting orientated,
Right.
but I think this is going to be a real bonus for the community to have him.
Final note we want to pass along, the In Focus photo contest. We've talked about this many times, and now it's time, Mayor, for the residents to get in and vote. Where can we do that?
They have till November 30th, but they can go online and vote. It's just going online and looking at the pictures. They're absolutely fabulous. If you want to see them on a screen, I'm afraid the regular pictures aren't there, but you can see them on a screen at City Hall, and you can vote there. Only vote for one.
Okay.
This is the People's Choice Award. So we have professionals that are coming in free of charge to us, of course, who are judging the photos, and we'll give the best in nature and people and just sceneries. So they'll do the judging, but what we're voting for is the People's Choice.
Right.
That's why you only get to vote for one. When you look at those 53 photos and have to vote for one, it's very difficult because they're all good.
That's right. Good luck through that process. And again, the city's website where you can find the photos and also much of the information that we talked about today. Mayor Hemken, thanks once again for your time. Look forward to talk to you again next week.
Thanks, Dave. See you then.
Learn more about The Connection at ccxmedia.org and follow us on social media.